That's that right there is the it's the war horn, because the war on Tucker Carlson has started. They are attacking him from all angles, and it warms my heart in a way to see the media malfunction, because you know that they're getting hit where it really hurts when you see them malfunction the way they are. They have been saying things that are just outright petty. They have been saying things that are just straight up made up, not real. And they have been they've kind of launched, I'm going to get to it, but it was kind of like a smear campaign. I saw a lot of articles that seemed pretty much the same, and just on different outlets. Very interesting to see. Let's get in. I'm going to break it all down for you. And we're also going to play some Joe Rogan clips, because Joe Rogan talking about the mainstream media dying is exactly what this video is about. So I got two of those for you. I got a clip of OAC talking a bunch of smack about Tucker Carlson, which blew up in her face. And I got a bunch of articles for you guys as well. Let's get into it. First, the store. Got to show you guys the Great Resist. You heard about the Great Reset. Well, join the Great Resist. It's just what you should do if you do not want to have to eat bugs your whole life. And we got the Soul Not for Sale hoodie. You guys know about all these products. And we got the anti-WF hoodie that you saw me wearing as well. You guys know about that store. Every single purchase helps us tremendously. And if you put in the code I am Coach Colin when you're purchasing, you'll get 10% off on me, no problem. Let's get into the actual video though. Let's waste no more time. As everybody knows, Tucker Carlson, he did his first episode on Twitter. It's called Tucker on Twitter, which I like quite a bit. And if you could see here, let me go a little lower. We're at 106 million views on this video. And if you can see here, he's gained almost 1 million subscribers overnight. This is just, or followers in this case, overnight. Absolutely amazing. Anybody who hasn't seen it, let me just hit you with the end of it real quick.
Yet it's fine with the media. Secrecy is a powerful tool of control. Stop asking how we got so rich. Here's another story about racism. Go eat each other. That's the program. That's how most of us now live here in the United States. Manipulated by lies, silenced by taboos. It is unhealthy and it's dehumanizing, and we're tired of it. As of today, we've come to Twitter, which we hope will be the shortwave radio under the blankets. We're told there are no gatekeepers here. If that turns out to be false, we'll leave. But in the meantime, we are grateful to be here. We'll be back with much more very soon.
I hear people say the news is full of lies.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And here's something that I noticed as well. They keep on talking about this. There's been a few outlets that have brought this up. Now, if you can see his hand, let me just make sure my pointer's there. They keep bringing up the fact that he's rolling his own teleprompter. And they keep bringing that up as if it's some low budget, horrible thing. And it just shows how elitist the mainstream media has become, and how much they're kind of shooing away what Tucker's doing as if he's some kind of peasant in some low budget thing. They're acting like he's me. He's not me. Like this is Tucker Carlson we're talking about. Let's get into some more articles. Now, somebody says Tucker Carlson peddles conspiracy theories on Twitter, debut from his barn. They're saying that he's doing it from his barn. And I just want to read just a small bit of this for you, because I got some articles to go through. But just here, or even just here. Hosts backed Russia in its war with Ukraine, abused is the word they used. The Ukrainian president Zelensky invoked conspiracy theories and mused on the existence or otherwise of extraterrestrial life. Just getting ridiculous. And also here, again, really, let me make sure you guys can see it, really shitting on this guy. At the end of Carlson's first show, a 10-minute monologue in a barn with a wide shot showing he was operating his own teleprompter, the host said he would bypass mainstream media to tell viewers the truth, as Russians under communism once found ways to hear broadcasts from other countries. He's 100% being truthful there. And you see what's going on, how they bring that up, like as if it's ridiculous. Like they're malfunctioning. They're getting hit with this whole thing of like, oh man, he's going to bring people to truth. You think everybody would just celebrate. You think if you were a journalist that was a part of the journalistic community, you'd be like, oh, this guy, he broke away and he's trying to bring people to truth the best he can, and he's doing something independently. That's great. I used to be independent. Every single journalist used to be independent. But for some reason, they're all taking shots at this guy. Peddles conspiracy theories from his barn. Just ridiculous. Now, here's an interesting thing that I saw. Here's an article. It says, just make sure you can see the whole thing here. Let me move my symbol for you guys. Let me move that. But it says here, Tucker Carlson is nothing without Fox News, and his sad Twitter debut proves it. Tucker Carlson is nothing without Fox News, and his sad Twitter broadcast proves it. One more time. Tucker Carlson is nothing without Fox News. You see what I'm doing? You see how I repeated that over and over again? If I asked you to say it, you'd be able to say it to me. You know why? Because I'm repeating it to you over and over again. It's getting into your mind. And if I kept doing this, and if I had enough people working with me to do the same thing, then it would start becoming popular opinion. And if I had a big enough audience, every single person who watches my content and speaks to somebody else, it would become fact. It would become reality. That's what I want to say. They're kind of crafting this reality that Tucker Carlson is nothing without Fox News. And the Twitter debut, it proves it. No, don't be excited about what he's doing on Twitter. It proves that he's nothing without Fox. And let's get the saddest picture of Tucker we can possibly find. There it is. Now, why is it interesting that they did it 3 times? Well, if you can see here, it's written by Cheryl Tay and she released it at 7:22 a.m. Who's this one written by? Well, Cheryl Tay, released at 7:22 p.m. or a.m. And who's this one written by? Well, Cheryl Tay, released at well, I don't know what this time is, but I'm gonna just make a reach right now and say that she probably released this one at 7:22 a.m. This is very interesting. The same person, they released it all at the same time. The media is so on the attack with this guy, and it only makes me want to support him more, not less. And the mainstream media does not understand that we are awake to what they're trying to do, and that people aren't falling for this type of stuff anymore. You could just go and watch his show on Twitter and decide for yourself. 100 million people decided to do that. Now, I'm sure some people watched it twice. I know I did. I watched it 3 times, in fact. So, maybe it's some repeat views, but still, millions upon millions upon millions of people decided for themselves. And the mainstream media hates that. They hate when the public decides for themselves and a journalist decides for himself what he's going to talk about and what he's going to do. So we come over to this article now. Of course, CNN. This is a CNN article, CNN Business. They released this ASAP. They went so quick with this one. Absolutely ridiculous. So Tucker Carlson launches his first episode of low-budget Twitter show after Fox firing. Make sure to bring up that Fox firing. They make sure to bring that part up. Hey, just so you know, this guy's not credible anymore. He got fired by Fox, just so you know. They're doing everything they can to make sure that this debut that he's made on Twitter doesn't reach the masses. Like right now, it's reaching people who are on Twitter, people who are in the know, people who listen to guys like me and, other outlets, but it's not hitting everybody. And they're making sure that that group of people who takes in the mainstream media, they're making sure that they know that this was a flop. This was horrible. And you know why it was horrible? Because he strayed away from mainstream media. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now let's get into the ludicrous. Let's get into the ludicrous stuff. This is ADL. I love this because they're the Anti-Defamation League. Oh, you guys can't see it. My bad. They're the Anti-Defamation League, ADL, right? That's what they do. They help to stop the defaming of Jewish people. Tucker Carlson may no longer have a primetime slot on Fox, but now he's taken his anti-Semitic claims to Twitter. This is exactly the type of dangerous, hateful content that has no place in mainstream public squares. It's almost like they're trying to say, hey, listen, he didn't leave this place on his own, this mainstream place. We had to kick him out because he's anti-Semitic. He's dangerous and hateful and anti-Semitic, just so you know. Wow. That was a whole mouthful I just let out there. But I'm just showing you guys this because it's wild. It's wild how many attacks, and this is just a small part of it. Believe you me, there are so many articles on Tucker right now. And let's go on to a Joe Rogan clip, actually. Let's go to Joe Rogan real quick. Let's have him talk about the mainstream media. I'm gonna have it here because this one actually speaks to exactly what's going on with Tucker. Let's go.
Hey, we still don't know yet because we just don't have the data. And people fight tooth and nail over this shit because there's so many people that use the current media apparatus as their mainstream sense-making apparatus. And if you tear that away from them, now they have to sit back and go, well, what do I really know?
Right.
What is the reality of what I think truth is? What is the metric upon understanding now that you've just shown me that? And of course, even at its best, of course, media is going to be faulty at times because it's just made up of people, right? We're always going to be imperfect. We're always going to make mistakes, but there is no admitting of mistakes anymore. There's no saying, I was wrong. We were wrong.
There's also a problem with mainstream media, and it's the same problem that we have with the police. You're giving people an inordinate amount of power. Mm-hmm. And when you give people that amount of power, they don't want to ever let it go. And they don't ever want to say they're wrong, and they don't ever want to admit fault, and they don't ever want to open the door to nuance.
Correct.
And that's what you see with whether it's CNN or Fox News or any of these motherfuckers. They have this idea that they've been selling you, whether it's this idea about Russia, whether it's the idea about COVID, whether it's the idea about Trump, whether it's the idea about Biden. I mean, they're selling you some shit. And it's very, very difficult to get an unbiased perspective on the world.
They came after you for no reason. You know, they would write all this kind of completely disingenuous, just narrative-driven bullshit around you, a person who brings people on and has conversations and tries to flourish that idea of the marketplace of ideas, like having conversations and trying to earnestly and sincerely explore things and try to have a better grip on the world and try to better orient themselves towards just knowing and knowledge, in addition to even having a fucking good time about it, being here.
Well, it's a competitive thing too.
Of course it is.
When someone reaches a point where they're interacting with too many people and they have this potential to really influence things in terms of the political process, in terms of the way people view things, that becomes very dangerous for people that have a different perspective on things, or people that are connected to a traditional machine.
True.
Whether it's newspapers or whether it's, and I have friends in both those things. I have friends.
That's exactly why I wanted to play that clip, because that's exactly what Tucker is. He's somebody who is connected to this mainstream machine, the way things are, that whole big machine. And he's somebody who has a connection to so many people. I mean, 100 million views on his first episode. And then on top of that, he has 8 million followers on Twitter right now. And he's about to start releasing episode after episode. And he's going to be doing exactly what he's always done, bringing us, exactly what Joe just said, things from a different perspective. And the fact that the mainstream media is attacking him so viciously right now shows that they don't want you to have a different perspective from somebody who was connected to the mainstream media machine. If I do it, it's fine, because they can just shoo that away. They're like, what is that? What is that? 33,000? 33,000? Get out of here with the 33,000. They can do that with me, but they can't do that with Tucker. And Tucker's showing that right now. He's showing what could happen. And this is the thing. He's not showing me. Because I understand. I've been watching Joe Rogan since Joe Rogan's been sitting on a couch. I get it. I know how it works. How things can blow up and change. He's showing guys like Anderson Cooper and Don Lemon and Brian Stelter and Rachel Maddow. He's showing them that, hey, listen, if you really feel a different way about the things you're saying, if you really don't feel what you're being told to say is right, you can leave. You can leave and you'll do even better. And I think that's the big problem with what Tucker's doing. Huge problem. Huge problem. Let's get another Joe Rogan clip in real quick. This one, he's talking about the media as well. Let's get into it.
You have ideological perspectives. You have the people that are in these ideological camps where this is this and that is that, and you can't differ from, you can't like have any sort of nuanced perspective or look at people that have a different point of view in a charitable way. You can't do that, because then you're a sympathizer, or you're platforming these bad and evil people, and you're carrying water for. There's all these stupid fucking phrases that they like to use.
It's crazy how quick they jump.
Yeah. But also, they're fucking dying too. Like, all those media companies, nobody trusts them anymore. And the reason why nobody trusts them anymore is because they're not trustworthy.
Yeah.
It's not. It's like, it's real simple. It's real clear. It's not like fucking, you know.
So you last that cigar with one light up, huh?
No, I had to hit it a second time.
Okay, good.
I hit it with this little lighter. It wasn't as loud.
Good.
Yeah, it goes out. I think that it's an interesting time though, because it's caused the emergence of but also independent journalism. Like guys like Matt Taibbi, guys who were with these corporate news structures who left, and now they're doing it on their own. Glenn Greenwald, Crystal and Sagar from Breaking Points, all these kind of people that you can trust, because even if you don't agree with them, you know they're not lying. That's all I need.
Same.
You can have opinions that I don't agree with, and
I don't quite know that about Crystal Ball and Sagar, but, I know what he means. I get what he's trying to say there.
100% support your ability to do that. I don't want to suppress people I don't agree with, but I want you to be honest. I want you to tell me what the actual data says, and even if your perspective on that data I don't agree with, at least I know you're telling me the truth. That's all I need. And there's not a lot of that in mainstream media, and that's why mainstream media is dying.
Yep. That's exactly what's happening. Not a lot of truth. And I mean, like, he made that list, and Tucker wasn't on that list that he just rattled off, but now Tucker is on that list. How many other people are going to join that list as they start to realize this isn't where it's at? Like, I have no integrity. I have no say in what I'm saying. I'm being worked like a sock puppet by giant corporations with giant uncomfortable hands. It's absolutely crazy. Now, let's go to the death blow attack that's being done on Tucker right now. Let's skip over here and show you the biggest attack that's happening on him right now. And it was this article right here. Fox News. Fox News says that because he released this episode, he's in breach of contract. That's the biggest one. And obviously they used the fattest picture they can possibly find of him. And you know what's really funny about that picture? Let me show you that picture again. Look at what it says back there. Business Insider. Who are the people that wrote this horrible article about him? It's the Insider. This is from the Insider. Let me just pull that down for you. That's from the Insider. How crazy is that? Crazy how things change, huh? At one point, they had him on the platform because he was just one of those guys. He was one of the guys. Now, they're writing attack articles on the guy. It's funny how he was acceptable at one point and not anymore. Kind of shows you how quickly the mainstream media will flop on their own. And it really makes you think about what they're willing to do to you. If they're willing to do that to their own, quote unquote, and what are they willing to do to us? What are they willing to keep from us? What are they willing to say to us in the guides of, being beholden to some company, some unknown huge shadow company, Let's real quick here. Fox News on Wednesday notified Tucker Carlson's legal team that the former primetime host violated his contract with the network when he launched his own show on Twitter Tuesday. Citing a copy of the letter obtained by the news site. Carlson released the first episode, as we all know, on Tuesday, weeks after being taken off the air by Fox, following a damaging defamation lawsuit over false claims of election fraud. Election fraud that, claims about election fraud. YouTube's actually allowing you to speak about the election possibly being frauded now. Oddly enough, they used to take things down for people saying that, but now they actually allow it. So just one last thing here. Fox News general counsel, blah, 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 Bernard sent a letter to Carlson's legal team saying Carlson is in breach of his contract agreement after he posted a clip of his show on Twitter Tuesday evening. Carlson's legal team could not immediately be reached for comments. His lawyer told us that any legal action by Fox would violate his First Amendment rights to free speech guaranteed by the U.S. Constitution. Amen for that. And let's just go with a little quote here. Oh, make sure you guys can see it. Fox defends its very existence on freedom of speech grounds. Now they want to take Tucker Carlson's right to speak freely away from him because he took to social media to share his thoughts on current events. And this is a quote from his lawyer, Brian Friedman. So that's what's going on with Tucker, man. They're coming after him hard, and they're being relentless about it, and it's coming from all angles. It's not just Fox. It's everything in the mainstream media machine is now coming after him. And honestly, when I see that makes me think that he's saying things that are true. Now, obviously, there's no person in the world you're just going to agree with every single thing that they say. But when I see that type of attack on a man, it makes me think, well, that man is speaking some kind of truth. Every single time you see somebody who's acting in the best interests of the people, you see the mainstream media machine attack that person, smear that person, discredit that person, grind that person into the ground if they can. And in this situation with Tucker Carlson, they cannot. Please like and share the video. If you've watched this far, please, please, please like and share the video. And other than that, I'm out.